Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Livingston Man's first ever live stream. It's Tuesday. Popped up on you, didn't I? I don't know how to do this. As much as I work with that guy that I work with, this was interesting to put together. All of a sudden, I was like, I don't have a backdrop. I don't have none of this stuff. It never occurred to me really. As everybody can hear me and see me and whatnot, a lot of big names in here. This is wild, man. Thank y'all for stopping by. My condolences, because you're just gonna. This will easily be forgettable, I'm sure. 5x5, very good. Thank you, Rapture. And fun thing about this is I just get to yammer on the whole time without my good buddy over there. We're praying for Mike tonight. He's in a really bad way. Times are tough for him. Oh, no, nothing's wrong. He's just in Pennsylvania. Deus mio. Poor guy. So we're praying that he pulls through on that one. So I decided that what I was going to do is I said I wasn't going to talk about prepping. I wasn't going to talk about survival. And I wasn't going to talk about politics. And then I was wondering to myself, what do I even talk about? And I was like, well, maybe I'll just be real with y'all or something. I don't know. My name is the Livingston Man. I do all the work for a little channel called Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Not to say all the work. What I meant to be was I'm like the digital technical guy for that channel. But otherwise, maybe tonight I'll just talk to y'all like my actual self instead of being egged on to certain topics and certain scenarios and whatnot that would elicit a typical response. Instead, I'll just be myself with y'all. Listen, I love the Beatles. I like punk rock music, loud, fast, aggressive stuff. I love Bad Religion. I like Green Day. I know, no, they're not even punk rock, bro. How dare you? Whatever. They were at one point. Dropkick Murphys, obviously. I just love good, big, loud music, bro. I don't really do movies. Not a big movie guy. If it's not 20 years old, I don't like it. Same as my music, really. If it's new, I don't like it. This period probably sucks. If you take me to a movie theater, I'll fall asleep. It'll just literally, I'll just fall asleep. Oh, it's dark in here. I got a reclining seat. Good night. I didn't see the movie. So I don't go to those people who want to talk to me about movies, and they're like, you got to see this movie, bro. And you got to stand there and act interested. You're like, oh, for sure, bro. Knowing damn well you ain't never going to see that movie. And the hell with everything that dude just said. Also, I like cameras. I like audio stuff. I like maybe you see me play music from time to time and stuff. And tonight what I'm going to do with y'all is just be the Livingston Man popped up on your live stream. But first, as my good buddy Mike would say, I'm going to play y'all a song from a pre-recorded, what they call it, a previously taped segment. Here we go. 2022 edition. The Eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. Even the Jordan River has bodies floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fear I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It ought to scare you, boy. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. My blood so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here, I'm contemplating. I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation. And a handful of senators won't pass legislation, and marches alone won't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole crazy world is just too frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Moving, but I don't hear a word you're saying. Lucky you, Marco. Honestly, listen, I have nothing but problems here. There's nothing but problems with my stupid live stream tonight. I'm telling you. Hello, am I back? God. Is anybody still here with me? Okay, look, it's not buffering anymore. This is just really, we're having a bunch of good times tonight, you guys. Anyway, welcome to my live stream. I am back, I think. Thank you. All right. So, we're going to talk about music. You want to talk about sports? You want to talk about food? You want to talk about what? What you guys want to talk about? Because I don't know. I came here to talk about, you want to rant? You want to rant? You want to rant? I got the thing. I got a thing. People still don't know how to act in the grocery store when you go there. I miss the pandemic. I swear to God I do, okay? Because you used to go to the store, and at first they put the lines on the floor, and they were like, this is the way to do it. And you got to go on, you stay on the green line, and you walk through the store, and everybody stays out of your way, and everybody had like this etiquette about them. But now they relaxed the rules about the whole thing, and all of a sudden now everybody does not know how to act in the store. They pull up, and they're like dead ass in the middle of the aisle, just like, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'm just saying, excuse me, pardon me. They're talking to old Phyllis they ain't seen in 30 years for like 15 minutes in the middle of, yeah, how are the kids, Phyllis? That's really great. I'm really good to see you. Thank you very much. I'm like, can you please move? I'm just trying to come through. Look, and they're looking at you like, oh my goodness, really? Seriously? You're just going to walk between us in our conversation? Bro, honestly, I can't stand it. And you get to the meat section. Oh my God, the meat section. You get there, and there's like, I'm standing there. I see the 2 filet mignons I want from across like the store. I walk in. I'm like, that's them right there. Ding ding. Johnny, what do we got for them? 2 filet mignons right there, looking beautiful, little heart shaped to them. And there's this guy. He's just standing there, and he's like dressed in like to the nines, like he's like, out on the town, like country boy. He's got the Carhartt on. He's got the vest, he's got the hat, and he's touching. He's grabbing all the fillets, and he's like grabbing them. He's fucking touching them. He's like touching. He's putting his thumbs in like every single one of them, dude. Standing behind him, I'm just watching this go down, and I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And I'm just kind of leaning on the cart, like doing one of these, like. Just looking at this guy, and he like turns around, he looks at me, he sees me making this face, and all of a sudden he like starts like verbally, like psychologically abusing like his teenage daughter. He's like, yeah, well, just grab one and put it in there. Like, what are you waiting for? And like made it like about her, who like is clearly a vegetarian and like did not want to eat the steak anyway. It's like the dickest move I ever seen from a person at the meat section. And I've seen some dick moves by people in the meat section. You always get these old timers too. They always show up. They're like, we're going to meet up, Elmer. Bunch just meet me in front of the ground beef at Hanford. You're like, all right. And you get there, and they're like, hickory dickory docking about How much they gonna save me? It's like it's 13 cents and this, but they're $9. Just pick some ground beef, dude. They're like all the same. What are you doing with your 13 cents anyway, Elmer? Like I can't go in public. I can't stand. I'm like, how dare you like look at me, like breathe at me? No, like listen, just ignore me completely. Like when I'm in public, because I can't do it. Just the thing. And yet here I am, yakking to the internet. I just told you all my life story, bro. Hunter says he goes to Phillies and Claverick. Okay. I listen, any level of public is like off limits to me. I can't even stand it. Hickory dickory dock. You know what I mean? Like when they're just like, they're stuttering and stammering, trying to figure out like they're going to get the best deal on the ground beef. Like who gives a shit? You bring your own scale, dude. Like, oh, so the tag said that's 1.5 pounds. You're going to have faith in that, bro? People out here like the government's conspired to spray chemicals in the atmosphere, but they believe the tag on the beef is accurate? Please, ladies and gentlemen, get your tinfoil hats on. We can go all night with this. Big food, bro. You don't even know what big food is up to. Like everybody's got this stuff in their food they can't even pronounce, and they're like, this is fine. And you wonder why Elmer is standing at the meat counter worrying about how much he's going to spend on his ground beef, and he don't even know that they put antibiotics in it and stuff. Like, I mean, there ain't no like nutrition information on the ground beef now, is there? Interesting. Maybe in other states. Here in New York, I never seen it. They got this like USDA BS they put on it. Other than that, I don't know about the ground beef. They said it's ground beef, but I don't really know that. I didn't DNA test the ground beef, and I don't, if you did, one in the chat if you DNA tested the ground beef from the local grocery store, because I didn't. I'm pretty sure no one else did either. They said beef. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It said beef. Is beef? I don't know. I'm just asking hard questions. Because, and in my mind, logically, it's a question nobody's answering. Chicken? I'm supposed to believe more chickens in the world than there is people? I ain't seen one. I went outside before. I didn't even see one chicken. Lies. Fake. What is it? It ain't chicken. You DNA tested the beef. Tell us more. My mother Spark DNA tested the beef. What was the 21andMe on that, or 23andMe or whatever, Ancestry.com on that beef, though? 100% crickets. See, folks? It's all lies. If you didn't see where your food came from, you don't know, and you just got to have faith, bro. Yeah, because, Jay Creature, he says that we should advocate Spam, but are concerned about fillers. Now, see, Spam is not filler. It's pork shoulder, okay? And the only reason they decided to even market that was because they were left over all this pork shoulder and nobody wanted it. So then they made something out of the pork shoulder called Spam, and now it's enjoyed by millions. So how many pork shoulders have to go to waste before you're happy, okay? And no, I don't eat squab either. Like French people want to come in here talking about, oh, yeah, this is squab. This is a touch of squab. This is squab breast. That's a pigeon you capped with a BB gun out off the top of the hotel out back. You're not playing these games with me. Big food, escargot. What is that? I'll tell you. They went out in the garden, and when they were picking the tomatoes, they found a big, nasty old slug, and they put it in your food, and they were like, this is escargot, you guys. This is a delicacy. You have to taste it to believe it. And it's like, no, it's a snail that you found in the produce. And again, lying to me. Trying to think I'm silly. I ain't silly. The prepping mantis is with us, everybody. Say hello to him. Chicken nuggets. I mean, you guys just think about it. Think about big food in general. And how they propose to feed millions of people, and do, honestly. But the big machine that's got to go into this, all this stuff about that, you're worried about your food. As I'm sitting back, I'm going to crush like a double quarter pounder and like a 10-piece nugget. Stop by Taco Bell probably. So, I can sit here and rail on about processed food, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go eat it anyway. So it's everybody's call. I'm just, I'm asking the hard questions here. I'm just saying, is it even what they say it is? Like, what is beef? Like, if Vision was here, I say I don't have mods or anything like that. Pretty primitive here. If we could get somebody to do a search, like, what is the legal definition of beef? Like, what does that even mean, like, in the courts? Because, like, I think there's beef in the streets, there's beef in the store, and then there's like, what does beef in the court even mean? And I think we deserve the answer, you guys. I don't know, because they're like, it's beef, and I'm like, yeah, but is it? Is it cow? No. These questions ain't being answered. How's everybody doing tonight? It's like Tuesday. It's like Monday, the sequel. Like, did I really come up here with no lighter? This live stream's going to turn shitty real quick. I think I did. He's got no lighter, you guys. It sucks. Fine. Deal with my nicotine fit. Trying to read your like sort of comments and stuff, although like I'm not good at it. I don't read so well. So if you guys would slow down, maybe like instead of spelling it correctly, can you just type it how it sounds? That would be cool. Chinese place to use cardboard with pork fat for dumplings. Well, I mean, what's the difference? What? Throwing things at the. I think I just got an airdrop of a lighter. That'd be really cool. Anyway, sports. I only watch like highlight reels. I don't watch sports. I don't have a sports team that I like am fanning about. Like, I don't care. I don't know who these guys are. Like, I don't really care. But like those Facebook reels of those guys like playing sports like real good. Like, that's all I need to see. I don't know why, except for like pure loyalty. I guess in the same way you like want to watch like my whole show, if you even do. One in the chat if you'd rather just see the highlights of this later. But that's my point, is like I'd rather just like let the teams do their thing and then watch the highlights later instead of sitting there like, wow, this 10-minute piece of football just took 60 minutes. That's so weird the way that timer works. And in the rules anymore, like I remember I'm like, I'm old as shit. So they used to hit each other when they played football, kids. I don't know if you guys remember that, but yeah, they used to hit each other in football. Like they'd maybe even try to like hurt somebody. Like it was a little dirty, like hockey-ish attitude, right? Great player, great football. And what's the only one that's really left? I mean, basketball just always annoyed me. I mean, cool basketball, yay. I just never identified with the basketball scene. Football, it's good to watch on a Sunday. I just want to get all riled up. I just find myself voting for whoever's like uniform looks coolest. I'm like, yo, those guys that got those black uniforms with the neon green numbers, that shit looks tight. I don't even know what team that is, but I'm like, that looks dope. I'm voting for them. Baseball, again, like the highlights are wicked, but the game is just boring. I mean, I think it's a stadium thing. You got to be there. Like, taking in the, like, it's like going to a concert, right? You got to, sitting at home watching is different, I guess, but like a little boring too. Plus the commercials. I mean, at least you don't get those in the stadium. Soccer, nah, I don't like it. Those guys get hurt too easy, man. Like they just they trip over something. And they're like, my leg, and just dead on the ground. Like, wow. Or from, they'll suddenly die sometimes. Sucks. Don't get it. What a golf. I don't know who's watching this shit. Golf. Okay. I mean, it sounds like a rich man sport to me, honestly. Golf. I don't get it. I cannot believe I don't have a lighter. I have beef jerky, but I don't have a lighter. Guess I'm better. Hockey has got to be just hands down like the only real like man like. Fuck it, I said it, yeah. The only real man sport left. This guy's like, there's some dude across the ice looking at him wrong. They just like drop gloves and fight, like straight up. 5 minutes, whatever, dude, and beat that dude's ass. Like, and they like let him. It's like part of the game. It's like written in the rules, like, let him fight. And you get 5 for fighting, but whatever. Sports people did never touch me. That's the problem. I was, everybody else got touched by them, and I didn't. I felt neglected, actually, Jay Creature. Everybody else was getting bit by the sports bug. It just ignored me. I was just over here like, don't worry about his feelings at all. It's just, and then that shit sticks with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got to tell you. Now, Vision, we were just talking about you. Thanks for stopping by. That he would be able to drop all these weird like references to things that I'm talking about, because can't type and talk at the same time. I can barely like talk and talk at the same time. I can't make fire. My mother's spark. I can't make fire in the house. That's specifically forbidden by the wife. So what I'm gonna do? See how long I can actually hold off. All right. Doing good so far. It's fine. So let's see what else has been bugging me lately. That isn't politics, prepping, survival. The cost of stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's politics or not, but I mean, the cost of stuff is getting to be a little stupid these days. No matter what, if you're in a trade or something, you're in like this crazy position where you have to like justify, like, I use screws a lot. Like, oh my God, I mean, imagine going to buy a little box of screws. A little 2-pound box of screws is like, if you want the crap ones, they're like $20. If you want the good ones, they're like $30. A 5-pound pail of screws is like $150. If you want like the stainless steel ones, it is like, and how is people supposed to get by in this sort of economy? So I figured that what we all got to do is start like treating money like it's the not real thing that it isn't. Money's not real. It's so weird if you think about the way it works is like you take this piece of paper and like there's different pieces of paper, but some of them are like worth more than other ones, and then you can like give this person a piece of paper and you can have like a thing that's real. You can like eat it or drink it or wear it or something or smoke it, but you can't do that with the paper. So like you work all day for the paper and then you're allowed to like have the things that you would like actually use. And I feel like the paper is like the middleman, if you follow me. And I feel like it's not necessary, really. I think it's like a method of control. Now here's Hunter's sitting home with he's pulling out the Jergens right now as I'm about to talk about making a run on the banks. Like, you want to make them prove it? Like, oh, your money is backed by the entire faith of the U.S. government. Then go ahead to your bank and get it tomorrow, everybody. And they're going to tell you something different. Pardon, I take a sip. So weird without my good buddy. We're all praying for Mike. He's in Pennsylvania, and we just, that's tough, man. So we're hoping. Militant Farmer, hello, good to see you, my brother. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Lots of big names in here. Now, if you stopped by because of the whole Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival Network, as you probably did, because otherwise, I don't have a lot of friends otherwise. I appreciate you for stopping by and even sticking around this long, and hopefully you're entertaining each other in the chat, because I don't know how entertaining this could really be. I'm just going to see how long I can just keep rambling on about whatever. You know what else like gets on my nerves is a lot of shit, really. All right, so this new music, I've always been into music. It was a thing that came way before all this video, YouTube, talking to y'all stuff. So as much as I appreciate y'all, I always think back to my previous musical career, because what I came up in, and there's a lot of parallels in between it. Like, you want to write a good song. It's got to be a certain length. It's got to hit the right buttons for people. It has to be produced a certain way. So, and even though a lot of the technical stuff is almost the same, but I hear things like auto tune and stuff like this being used where you don't even need it. Like, you have a good singer, but they're putting the auto tune on anyway because it's what the younger generation expects it to sound like. And it's so hard to put myself in a position where thinking that a person's voice that isn't digitally manipulated sounds unnatural. They have to change up. There's no there's great rock bands, but let's think about it, guys. It's how many really are there like great, like big, like earth moving fucking like rock bands? Like who? That's either not old as shit, played out, or, you know, like a joke or something. Like, and then who are we left with? My favorite's gonna be Rammstein, although pains me to say it. They probably will not like do like much more else, but like Rammstein, big, huge, like world shattering band, like just in terms of their persona, right? I'm going to go with Muse. Muse knows how to rock like a world stage, knows how to really crush like just any audience, makes their like they're like Pink Floyd had kids kind of thing they got going on. But anyway, speak to a lot of people and they're like totally in control of their own. They own like every aspect of their stuff. So up and coming, and they tend to push boundaries and stuff. And I mean, as for a third, oof. I mean, I don't know. I suppose the Rolling Stones are probably still touring, right? But other than that, you guys like, you know, in terms of music, it's all just like, what happened was like the dream came true was that indeed anyone could have a studio. When home studios and computers and stuff came out, anybody could do this now all of a sudden. You didn't need to have like a big budget or a record label because you could make your music at home in your bedroom. You could upload it to the internet yourself and you could create your own following on the internet and through all this social networking. But so could you and everybody else. So the product became cheap. Even if it was worth something and is good, there's so much of it that you're digging through a landfill trying to find a diamond instead of, you know, that work in the music side of it used to like kind of get done for you. Like the record labels would dig through the landfill, find the diamonds and let you listen to it. Now you got to like find it yourself. And there's so many like good and talented people on the internet. And I'm not saying it's a total wasteland, but as a musician myself, I often get the feeling that like there's like there ain't like a sound left that somebody didn't make before. There isn't a song left that somebody didn't already make. Like there's always so many notes and so many ways to put them together. It's like such a daunting task. So I understand why like music moves and shifts forward the way it does. But at the same time, like there is something to be said for like 3 chords and a sing-along melody that you could just like, you get it. It speaks to you without you ever even having heard the song before. I don't hear this in modern music. I hear like a bunch of just like commercial trash that's made to make ridiculous money for nothing and move about, be forgettable, like not be legendary. It's terrible. Hollywood does the same. A culture seems to be stuck in a repeat itself vacuum. All Hollywood is capable of is either reinterpreting or misinterpreting something that someone else already did. I mean, when's the last actually original movie that came out that wasn't based on a story by this or from the MCU universe or the DC universe? These superhero movies. Can't stand these fucking superhero movies. I'm like, grow up. You're 40 years old, worried about what fucking Superman's doing? You gotta be kidding me, bro. What's your wife say? As you're out here worried about what Deadpool is doing. Like, oh, Deadpool is so cool. Your wife's like, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, 42, bro. It's really cool. This is what I do, okay? You guys, you listen. You signed up for this. I didn't. It took me 10 minutes. 10 minutes to put this together. You know what I got? Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston, man. Chill. Okay, yeah, I'm still right here. Yeah. Thank you. Live studio audience. You guys didn't even know. Think I'm only talking to you. They always like, you need to edit out the ums. So when I drop this live stream edited, there'll be no I miss Mike. Like I said, we're praying for him. Pennsylvania is not an easy place to be, you guys. I mean, it touches the fabric, like where reality meets fantasy. Like Pennsylvania borders that. It's this like Ohio place that people like speak so fondly of, but like have never been there. They're like, oh yeah, Ohio's a place. And I'm like, did you DNA test the Ohio? Do you know that? I mean, they said Ohio. Okay, but do you know Ohio? No, you don't know that. You don't know nothing. My GPS said, yeah, well, of course your GPS would say that. Okay? So I don't want to hear this, Mike's not in a hard place right now, because he is. It like touches Ohio. And what do you do when you touch the abyss? Do you step forward or do you shrink? Do you recoil in horror? And that's what Mike is, the choice facing him right now. Okay? To recoil in horror or to give himself fully to it. Go ahead. Right? So you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. And you're like, that's a tough place to be, man. That's what I'm saying. So my heart's with him. My heart's with him. How the hell long have I been doing this? Wow, cool. 32 minutes and you guys are still here. If the abyss, otherwise known as Ohio, AKA, if it touches you back like, ugh, God, I can't. No, when you look into, listen, Mantis says that when you look into Ohio, it looks back at you. But I would argue that when you look into Ohio, you see your true self back. And it's just, you know? No. So this is where he's at. And like I said, we're all just going to bring our collective spiritual energy to try to get him through what is possibly like the darkest place he may have ever been. I mean, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, you guys. I mean, whew. I mean, Philadelphia is a step up at this point. I mean, honestly, Ohio. See, Vision claims to be from there, and that's what gets me thinking about him. I just wonder. See, I didn't DNA test the Vision preparedness. I don't know. He said Vision preparedness from Ohio, but do I know that? No, the science doesn't. The science has concluded that the science doesn't know. So that's what happened. Pennsylvania, and it's all wrong when you go there. It takes, you got to come all the way down, like, New York State, Hudson Valley, and you got to jump off and go, I think, through New Jersey, probably, which is, well, that's 5-star accommodations there in New Jersey. You finally make it through this hellhole, and it's like, wow. All of a sudden, they're just like, they're like, you want us to go in between the hills, like when we build the road? They're like, no. I don't know why you do that. You just go up to the top, back down the other side. They're like, bro, that's like 2,000 miles. They're like, yeah. So you go to, like, you can drive across the United States in like 5 days. You're going to spend like 4.5 of them, like, fucking in Pennsylvania, like, can't get past there. Like, are we still there? Like, you wake up, you have like gray hair. Like, you wake and you're like, where are we? You're like Scranton. You're like, this is unbelievable. How long is this state? And it's like, it makes you, they're like, it's Montana. And I'm like, it's not Montana. It's like fucking Western Pennsylvania, dude. It's all Pennsylvania. Just fucking up and down, up and down. You guys, go in between the hills, like, like go where the deer, like, remember there's like deer trails where they took the easy way? Like, can we do it? Like, no, nope, we are fucking up and over, baby. Pennsylvania, the up and over state. I mean, and they did it. They did it. Like, the roads are shit. I'm like, well, they always were. They got better roads on Mars, if you ask me. That NASA ought to be testing their shit in Pennsylvania, because it ain't going to last. That Discovery rover would have shit itself and died, like, before it got, like, over the first hill. Like, these roads suck. You go there. All right. They got, like, underground coal mines that are just burning, have been. Still going. How long? It's about 45 years or so. Yeah, back in the 60s, a trash dump caught the coal mine on fire. The whole town just subsiding into the earth like hell awaits them down there, Centralia, Pennsylvania. Look it up. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was a movie about it. Nothing But Trouble had Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. Based on that, whole fucking town is sitting on this shit that's just on fire. There's steam vents in the ground. You guys, Pennsylvania, just not cool. Like, it's just not cool. Like, listen, I'm sorry, okay? You're from there. I mean, that's a you problem, okay? Honestly, if I'm being honest, like, what do you want me to say? I feel sorry for you because I'm not sorry that Pennsylvania exists, because I need to know that there's something worse than hell. That's what keeps me going. So I appreciate Pennsylvania in that regard. And as for some of these other so-called states, I don't really think about it, because the only real choices for me in the end, when I stand before St. Peter, is Alaska or Pennsylvania. And I ain't trying to go to Pennsylvania purposely ever. So, what other states don't we like? I mean, is there like a state, like, there's just some of them, like, you're just like, that shit can't be real, man. Like, like, what's one? Like, you can't, the ones you can't even think, like Delaware. Like, just sounds like, Delaware sounds like just, it's Joe Biden's, like, private theme park, I figure, like Delaware. It just sounds boring as hell. Like, all they have there is, like, tax breaks and beach houses. Like, I'm not having no fun when I go there. I'm like, I bet they don't even have McDonald's. Like, ew. Like, then they would have to have, like, poor people that work there, so they just forsook McDonald's. Otherwise, they would have to accommodate, like, lower class people in their community. So I feel like that Delaware, you just go there and, like, the streets are actually paved in gold. Like, when you see it, wow, this is why, the immigrants come here. Like, this is where the legend is based in fact. Like, because there's, like, but then when the those folks from the south of the border show up, all of a sudden they're like, we got to get them out of here. Are you doing this? Nope. I can't be having these lower class people that don't speak English in my hoity-toity little neighborhood. Hey, you guys want to? All right, so I found out a fun fact. Fun facts. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. I know. I'm so hilarious. But anyway, fun fact. You ever heard somebody get called like, oh, he's a hoity-toity. Oh, they're all hoity-toity. So that comes from when there was still like first and second generation American colonists here who had came up speaking British American, let's call it, versus like second and third, like more American continental raised Americans. So the hoity-toity people, they called them that because, like, the way you or I might say it's high tide, these folks would say it's hoity-toity. And so, like, a lot of these historical figures, even folks like George Washington, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, would have sort of had this hoity-toity, like we had like accent, like something like this, and they like didn't speak proper English as we know it. I thought that was really fascinating. So I don't know if you ever heard somebody get called hoity-toity. Now you know why we call them that. They think they're better than you because they've been here longer, is what that's supposed to mean. So I thought it was a fun fact. Look it up. Vision's looking it up. Hoity-toity. Look up the hoity-toiters. I'm literally losing my voice yakking at you guys for what's been like going on 30-something minutes now. Of course, I'm delusional, Jay Creature. You ever talk this much besides to your like self in the shower while you're like crying, like just having a nice cry in the shower. You got a beer, like, Sinead O'Connor is on the Alexa, just nothing compares to you. Yeah. Everybody's crying now. Emotional moment. That's going to be my Emmy Award right there. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Let me tell you about that. Johnny Prepp's talking about old Kinderhook, which he would be referring to Martin Van Buren. Martin Van Buren's one of like 3 American presidents that's not related to a king of England. You can look that one up too. Martin Van Buren actually got his start as a lawyer. Born and raised Kinderhook, New York, and became like somebody of importance due to his law firm that he had in Hudson, New York. He actually fought a couple of really famous land tenant disputes versus a lot of the prominent families in this region. When we were talking about the rent wars on the one live stream. If there's another one you want to look up, the rent wars was a thing happened here in upstate New York. And Martin Van Buren, 8th president of the United States, was at the forefront of that before he was president as a lawyer, was a big tenants' rights property guy. Took the fight to a lot of big bad people. Why are you talking about mental health laws? Did I miss something? Listen, don't blame me. Blame society for what you hear, for this message right now, because it is society's problem. Velveeta, I don't know what Velveeta even is. Now, Vision, you got to look up Hoy Toiters. Elsie the Cow? This guy's too old for me. I don't know. He's all like, if you don't know who Elsie the Cow is, you're too young for me, bam. Like, I'm sorry, Jay Creature, I was not showing with Elsie the Cow. Like, I almost said I don't even like cows. That would have been a blatant lie. I totally love cows. I like eating them too. And I somehow am like able to differentiate. Like if I had a cow, I would like pet it and feed it and brush it. Christ, I'd blow dry it. But I would never butcher it and eat it. I mean, they'd be like, you're going to like, your cow like passed away? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what are you going to do with it? I'm just going to bury it. I'm going to bury like 2,000 pounds of meat in the ground. Because I love my cow. I don't love your cow. See how that works? Like, so I'll eat your cow, you know, the proverbial you, them, theirs. Okay, like they got cows, I'll eat their fucking cows. They don't care, I don't care. My cow, we're not eating my cow. And we'll fight it. Okay, we'll fight about it. I will be like putting a saddle on that motherfucker. All right. Be having like horns and shit. I'll be having a mounted 50 cal on the back of my cow riding into battle, like on the back of my cow. But what I'm not doing, butchering and eating my cow. I'm gonna put that son of a bitch to work. Okay. North American city, it looks like in Hudson. All right, this is easy to spot. Number one, I mean, Carhartt looking a little too brand new. Jay Creature wants to know, how do you spot a North American city in Hudson? And your rule of thumb going in is, unless stated otherwise, like it is one. All right, then it's easier to, if the Carhartt is dirty and or like worn, like used for its intended purpose, that's like a red flag. Well, I guess a green flag. This person is a native. The ubiquitous car, the vehicle, it generally is not going to be all very nice and shiny. It certainly won't be shiny. It'll be used. It'll show rust. There'll be like tools in it. Passenger side window, optional. Don't need it. Just need duct tape and plastic. It's fine. Pass inspection, bro. They go out in public. And even their demeanor alone. Like they look all scared. Like, oh my God. Like, ew. They wear a mask, for one. Most of us actual real Hudson people, like, don't wear the mask, like, had enough of it. So when they're wearing a mask, they're either, like, booming or they are not. They are in Rome. They are not doing as the Romans do. They seek to impose their will on the Romans. They come to Rome and yet expect Rome to bow to them. Imagine explaining this concept to an ancient person. This is them, okay? And it's in their attitude. You see it. They got the Range Rover. They got like 3 kids. They're like, put your mask on. There's filthy unvaccinated around. Oh my God. Kids are like scared to death because they get abused. They do. They catch a whooping. Okay. Mama's Karen and she don't play. She knows she is. Don't you call her one on Facebook, but she won at home. And they got, the clothes. They're wearing like stupid clothes. Like they look like they think we dress like it's Little House on the Prairie or some shit out here. Like, you show it like they're at Walmart with like the bonnet on, like, yes, good sir, thank you. It's very nice to meet you. What the fuck are you talking about? And, and dudes, like, oh my God. All right. So there's these like sweatpants y'all fucking with. And they're all baggy. Like, they look like those lederhosen that, like, you see, like, the Nazis wearing. Like, it's all baggy, like, in the mid, like, thighs and ass. Like, top half all, like, blowed out. Bottom, like, thunk, like, boot cut. And, like, motherfuckers is wearing this out here with them sag down to the, like, just above the knees. Got to, like, have them drop down. And they're wearing, like, a hoodie that looks like it was white at one point, but then, like, fluorescent graffiti happened to it. And then they got like neon green like sneakers on, but they ain't tied them shits. You know? And they got this like it's a fitted, call it fitted. That's a New York thing. Fitted. Now fitted is what most people call like just a regular old ball cap. But what you don't do, you do not. I don't even have anything of applicable. Like you do not like bend that brim. That shit better be straight brand new. Like you put the fitted on. Like it's like you took it out of the museum display. You put the fitted on, and you don't touch the fitted. Like it's gonna be fitted. It's fitted. Got the stickers on it. The tag even. If you gangster, it's got the tags even still fitted. And you're out here, and you got this fitted hat, and this like graffiti sweatshirt, these sagging ass, like you're looking like you got the riding pants on, but like they're falling off because you forgot a belt, and then you got the neon green shoes, and you're like walking around like probably an Uber driver or something. You got a vape. Worst part is I'm not at this point. I lost my train of thought because what I'm actually physically describing is motherfucker from Philmont, New York, is. And or Mellonville, I just described a Philmont motherfucker right there. The city people, where the Carhartt's too clean, they drive a Range Rover or Mercedes or a BMW. Maybe if they tried to be cool, they have like a high-priced Subaru or something. But in all cases, the vehicle like is just completely blown out of proportion. They are litter bugs. If y'all litter, man, like y'all show up and like you do this thing. I hate it. But I'm like mystified. I'm like in awe of it because I can't believe the audacity really is like they just pull up and they'll just take all the garbage from the car and they'll just throw it like out the door on the ground and fucking leave. Like they just do this. They do this. If you do this, I hope you hear me because I seen y'all do this shit and y'all do that. No! Listen, I can do one hell of a Long Island accent too. Listen, I deal with a lot of these Long Island people. They come up here like, oh my God. Honey, they don't even know we're from Long Island. And I'm like, yes, we fucking do. We fucking seen Long Island coming fucking from across the parking lot. Because here you can, they don't know how to act. You ever see these people? That dude, Vic, that bread and milk guy, like that is the quintessential fucking Long Island person. It just, I'm here. I'm from Long Island. Like, I know. Yep. Very cool, bro. Feel you. If anyone is concerned, you should be. I have been yelling at a fucking webcam for going on 45 minutes now. I got like 5 more minutes. Oh man. Longer than 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long, honestly, because I could just sit here and fucking do this all night. And I sincerely appreciate y'all just sticking around for this nonsense. I had no plan. I missed Mike, honestly. Still do. Praying for you, baby. I just wanted to go live. I wanted to make sure that, you guys, I didn't forget about you. I just wanted to say hi. I wanted you to have something to do besides whatever it was you're going to do. So either you're happy that you wasted your time watching me here, or you're not happy. Either way, leave me a review. I don't look at them. It's fine. Mike gets all the analytics. I don't pay attention to him. He's like, we're apparently very popular with like Serbians, like in the 18 to 35 range. So at least I know if like I ever find myself in Kosovo, I can find some nice young men that will surely house and feed me. I mean, it's not like they're going to take me hostage. That'd be hilarious though, right? Oh, we got ourselves a celebrity. I'd be like, you guys are crazy. They thought they were going to get a ransom from me, but no. Well, we got the Livingston man. The U.S. government would be like, so? That's cool. Anyway, Prepared Irishman, I know you're from Long Island. I did take you for Boston, but I kind of have this thing where I think all Irish people are from Boston. My mother is actually from Long Island, so I can claim it, and I can make Polak jokes because I'm half Polish. So in that regard, I can say whatever I want because I'm Polish. I'm from Long Island. I'm an upstate New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. So, I mean, as New Yorkers, can't we all just like agree that we have the God-given right to say whatever the fuck we want? You know, a little bit of that New York attitude, you know, a little Frank Sinatra for you. This is going on long enough. I love you guys. Thank you for stopping by. Peace.